Let's start off with the softball team, and the road ahead for the Lady Pioneers is as followed. They have West Liberty tomorrow, a 2-21 ball club. Disarray in that program as far as their softball team is concerned. It looks like Inzana at 3-3 and Heigl at 2-1 will go tomorrow against the Hilltoppers. That one is scheduled to go at 3 o'clock, a doubleheader. And then conference season begins on Friday. That's right, April Fool's Day for the Pioneers. They'll go and take on the Cougars of Mount Vernon of Nazarene. That is a road game. It looks like Zelenka and Inzana will go for the Pioneers on Friday. We bring back in Kevin Calhoun now. Kevin, conference play, it's finally here. We've all been waiting for it. And the AMC conference looks a little bit down here at this point. There's not too many teams that are above 500 in non-conference play. The Pioneers would really behoove them of getting on the right foot and getting two out there against Mount Vernon.
Absolutely. I had an interesting conversation with our SID, Kevin Taylor, about the AMC conference. And one thing that we really got into talking about was they really are not that strong up and down the AMC conference right now. This is a division that can be seized by the Pioneers if they can keep things going the way they have been for the last 3 days. I mean, they looked good half the day against Fairmont State, and then they absolutely destroyed Penn State Fayette. If they can keep the bats going, the pitching's going to be there. It's going to be a busy week for Inzana. 2 probable starts this week. Obviously, you want Zelenka going in Game 1 against Mount Vernon Nazarene, but like you said, this is a 3-7 softball team. They're not the cream of the crop of the AMC conference. This will be a good statement game for the Pioneers.
You know, I like what you had with Kevin Taylor because you look today as well. Notre Dame is already 2-0 in the conference. They only have 5 wins overall. 5 wins. That means they only had 3 in non-conference play, and then they swept Cedarville to start off their AMC conference schedule. This one is wide open, but they're going to need to continue to get production from Durunda. They're going to need Prasenka to step in there and bat. They're going to really need Ardinger to really lead off and get on base for people like Durunda and Prasenka.
Yeah, and for me, Josh, it's not all about those names either. I mean, the one at-bat that really stood out to me against Penn State Fayette was Eklund. She had an at-bat where she saw at least 15 pitches in that at-bat, and that's the kind of stuff that you honestly really need. But obviously, I mean, you have the power hitters, you have the hitters that are going to, build up 7, 8, 9 total bases in one game. But really, it's all up and down the lineup because if you have production 1 through 5, and then you don't have production 6 through 9, half the game, you're going to be 1, 2, 3, sit back down. That's not a recipe for success. And the team, they were really solid up and down the lineup, and that's going to carry them through conference play.
What do you see for the Pioneers then this week, Kev? 2 non-conference against West Liberty, 2 on Friday against Mount Vernon Nazarene. They also got 2 against Gannon on Sunday, too. We kind of have swept that one under the rug because of the conference play on Friday starting. But what do you see this week for the Pioneers?
Well, we'll go with the 4 that you mentioned, the 4 that really we're going to look at here. I like the Pioneers in all 4. I really do. I think they'll have no problem sweeping against West Liberty. This is not a very good softball team, and the pitching for the Pioneers will be there. And then Mount Vernon Nazarene, I think the Pioneers are really concerned and really focused on making a statement in conference play. They'll go out to Mount Vernon. They'll play, again, a sub-500 team, and they'll be fun.
All on the road for the Pioneers this upcoming week. Thank you, Kevin. We'll have to see how the Pioneers do fare in non-conference and then the start of conference play. A conference that is definitely not anyone's ball game, and that's on the baseball side of things. Let's show you the road ahead for the Point Park baseball team, a loaded AMC conference this year, and they start out with a very difficult home and away against the Malone Pioneers, a 19-9 ball club, the cream of the crop in the AMC conference for years now. On Friday, they go to Malone to play 2. Peluso, Lautzenheiser will be the starters. This is for sure. And 18-4 Pioneers against the 19-9 again. That will be at Green Tree Park on Saturday, 1 o'clock. Clark and Monroe to go. Those are not probable. Those are definites coming from Coach Lauren Torres. That conference rotation has already been set in. We're going to bring in Matt Desmond now. And Matt, they do not get a break. They have to go in and play one of the best teams in the AMC conference right away.
Yeah, they're really going to see if this 18-4 record's a flaw or is actually a legitimate team, because the Pioneers have been playing subpar teams in the non-conference play, and then they go to the AMC conference, and they start out with Malone, who's been one of the best teams in the AMC in the past years. And Malone's really going to give them that test. They're going to see if that pitching staff is available to pitch to their best, and we're going to see if the hitting is going to continue over to the AMC conference.
They're really going to need those guys in the pitching staff to really throw in and get a lot of good innings. You saw the numbers there with Peluso and Lautzenheiser, both 4-0. Lautzenheiser has an ERA under 1. Peluso's is right above 1. Peluso's throwing harder now. He's got that curveball that's just been absolutely sick nasty for him throughout his career here at Point Park. They're going to need them, and don't forget about Clark and Monroe, too. If the starting pitching is not there, the Pioneers are not going to be there.
Yeah, you talk about the pitching staff, and look at their pitching staff. They're number 4 in the NAIA in team ERA at 2.43. That ERA has to go along into the AMC conference play, and when they play Malone, their hitting's actually going to show up as well. You saw the end of their lineup was actually doing pretty good as well. You saw Pfeiffer, Duca, and Marco all had consistent batting when they were playing the SUNY Buffalo team. And when they played the SUNY team, all the cylinders were rotating there, and you want to see that when they play Malone.
The Malone Pioneers will come to town on Saturday. We will be there for highlights of that one, plus 6:70 a.m. WPPJ. Matt and Kevin Calhoun will be there for the play-by-play and the color. Matt, what do you see this team doing in the 4-game set, the away and the home games for Point Park?
I think they're probably going to have to split this series because Malone's been a very good team in the past in the AMC. But I think once they accustom to the change going to the AMC conference, I think they'll take one of one each day.
The Pioneers.